Welcome to another episode of the OC Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we're going to continue on with talking about the weekly watching of the OC. As always, I am joined by my partner here, Kenzie. How are you today?
I'm good, even though I had to watch this episode that heavily featured Oliver Trask.
As I'm watching it, I'm just like, man, I can't even imagine what it would be like right now to watch this episode with Kenzie, because we have a lot of Oliver Trask throughout this entire episode. Season 1, episode 16.
A big guy. He's a big episode.
It very much is. Season 1, episode 16, The Lynx.
Tell me why it took me like 30 minutes to figure out why it was called that. And I was like, oh, golf. Go sports.
Question. Why is it called The Lynx?
I didn't even write down in my notes like the name of the episode. I always do. I put and I never finished writing because I was like, why is it called that? I was like, why is it called that? Does the description or the synopsis tell us why it's called that?
No.
Great.
No, it doesn't even mention golf in the description.
Obviously, but it's worth naming the episode over.
Yes, exactly. All right. So on IMDb with 391 ratings, it has a 7.7 rating. It's pretty solid rating, right? So I feel like all these get right in the same pack. But are you ready for the synopsis?
Yes.
He says he's a friend, but who can believe a word Oliver says? During a group getaway in Palm Springs, Ryan is sure he's wise to Oliver's game. Marissa is just as sure Oliver is a friend who needs help.
What? That was like dramatic, but like horrible. Like it went on for so long. What a weird description. Also, like, I don't know, just doesn't work. Sorry to whoever wrote it.
Everybody, these are just consistently terrible. I mean, we're 3 seconds into the show and we get a knock
Oliver.
at the door. Knock at the door.
Question, how does he know where she lives? Actually, that's my first question. Second question, how did he get into the apartment complex? Most apartment complexes, you need a fob to get in to the building. Where's Jimmy?
That's question 3. We're 3 seconds into the episode. She's got 3 questions, guys.
Wouldn't you be like, how do you know where I live?
Because this is the first time.
Stalker crazy siren is going off if you are not Marissa.
It's one thing to show up to the Cohen's house because
he did.
Because everybody knows everybody knows where the Cohens live. But this isn't like the next door house. This is the apartment that he shows.
Yeah, it's weird.
Very weird. Obviously kind of just sees himself in, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he kind of like does that thing where you're like, you don't invite someone in, but they're like halfway in, so you just move and they continue to come in your house. It's weird.
Well, I don't want to come in. It's okay.
But then he just won't stop talking. And I'm like, relax, like breathe.
He had to come into Jesus.
Okay? Yeah, but it's like, dude, chill.
He's sorry. Him and Natalie got back together.
I've never seen someone be so aggressive about being sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. You have to forgive me. Let's go to Palm Springs. Natalie and I are back together. My parents will be there. Like, dude, I can tell you're lying.
First off, none of my friends have ever apologized and invited me on a trip to Palm Springs. I just want to throw that out there.
I need to break up with all my friends.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, and it was so weird. Like, I want to invite you two to Palm Springs. Oh, and everybody else while we're at it too.
So to me, it would have been like better if he had been like, let's all go to Palm Springs because we had so much fun at that show and I kind of ruined it with my business.
Yes.
But the way he did that, like you said, is so weird that he was like, Ryan and you, Palm Springs. And then he's like, but also everyone else. Like,
right.
Also, like, he's one of those people that likes to prove he knows everything because he's like listing everyone's names instead of being like, let's get the gang back together like he did the first time. Like now he's like, Luke, Anna, like did he really have a conversation with Anna? And isn't Anna the one who, at the very first time they went to his shindig, she was like, who is Oliver?
Exactly. Like she didn't even know who the guy is. And the crazy, it's just like, and who just invites everybody to the shindigs anyway? Like the whole thing is like, Marissa, are you this, on this episode to me,
this is where you can't understand how she's not seeing it.
Yes. The entire episode, I'm like, Marissa is just stupid. Like at the end of this episode.
Like, I do excuse her from previously where she didn't see that he was trying to like, you know how Haley explained the whole New Year's thing before it happened?
Yes.
That was what was going to happen. I understand when you're like in the situation, you don't see it happening to you. But like at this point, I'm like, I personally don't get it anymore. Yeah. Because it's not even like just, because if Luke, which is obviously a thread throughout this whole episode of Luke seeing it all, if Luke can see it and they just portrayed Luke as like some idiotic weirdo, like
just a muscle.
Have we talked about this? Luke had transitioned into Summer, like the way Summer was written in the first couple episodes.
He really has. He's literally become like the worst character.
He's like the jester of the show. Exactly. Like he's just there for shits and giggles. Like it's weird. But like Luke isn't in the situation, and yes, he dated Marissa, so he has like a history, but like he's very far removed from like, he doesn't need to be jealous of anything happening to Marissa now that she has a boyfriend that he's accepted. Yeah. And it's like, he notices it. So I'm like, it's noticeable to everyone around them, just not Marissa.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, I don't understand why it's just gotten to the point, like even down to this scene where he takes the picture of Ryan and puts the picture of Ryan behind Jimmy.
Question. It left a gap on the mantle.
Nobody would notice this.
Nobody would notice, and nobody would be like, you know who probably did it? The guy that came to my apartment unannounced. Like,
but hey, Oliver's a good guy.
And like, I wish I could go to therapy so badly. It seems like just so useful in life. But like back then, people were like so like touchy about like therapy. Not even just on The Sopranos, but like. Everywhere. Even Marissa, when they were like, you're going to go to therapy, she's like, no. Like
now she's all
about it. And now she's all okay to accept someone she met in therapy.
Yeah.
And she really seen him go in the room?
Maybe
he just hangs out in the waiting room and picks up people.
Yeah, maybe that's...
I would watch that as a spin-off series. There's no way this actor's doing anything else still right now. Call him up. Yeah. I'm going to pitch it.
Hey, Oliver. Sorry, we know your name's something else, but we just want to pitch a show to you where you literally sit outside. I
guess that wouldn't work present day because nobody's going into therapy. People are doing like Skype sessions.
Yeah, I guess so.
It could be
that would be a great like serial killer. Like I think I just took him into the dark. You know what I mean? He like picks up girls that like he just goes state to state and sits in on these things and just kind of kills them. That'd be awesome. Sweet. And then Dexter comes and kills him. He could be Dexter's next killer. Oh my God, we just solved season 10 of Dexter.
I forgot there's another season.
I love Dexter.
I liked it until the season finale series.
Yeah, the season finale was pretty terrible. Lumberjack. All right, we're off the rails again. All right. So now, speaking of back on the rails, Sandy's teaching Ryan how to golf. And
I love Seth in the pool catching the fly balls. It's hilarious. How long was he down there?
I don't know. He's down there for a solid minute. Like
he probably beat Tom Cruise's record of filming underwater.
Probably. Adam Brody, give us a call, man. But no, for real, seriously, it's a hilarious scene. They're just making fun. Seth and Sandy are just literally making fun of Ryan.
Ganging up on Ryan. They're like, you don't golf or spa?
Yeah.
And then, like, Seth's response is, no, he only punches people and does musicals. It's hilarious.
And then Ryan goes, he's standing right here with a golf club. And Sandy goes, takes it from him. He goes, but you don't know how to use it.
So funny.
Of course, he swears off going to Palm Springs and then smashes a window.
Obviously. A natural progression.
I love how he says, and then Sandy and Kirsten talk about, Oliver, do we trust this Oliver guy? Like, no.
No. And like,
you
he
literally
just got caught
bailed him
with
out of
coke.
jail. You literally just bailed him out of jail.
My parents would say hard pass.
Yes. Like,
hard pass. No, you're not going.
And I love that they had such the parent comment where they go, "We're just gonna worry all weekend."
It's so funny because then like throughout the episode they don't. I mean, like, yes, they call, but like I don't know.
After the first scene where he like gets to like the area or whatever, he calls like 75 times. He never
calls again.
Never again. I love this moment. He goes, "Oh God, the ugly Americans are coming back." When he talks about,
and I like that she's like, they bring up that like they probably did every stereotypical thing that Parisians think of.
Yeah.
Of Americans. It was so funny because like so everyone just got done making fun of Emily in Paris, and that Emily in Paris is just like stereotypical things that Americans do in Paris, and that's what I imagine Caleb and Julie doing.
Oh, the entire
Caleb and Emily and Julie in Paris.
Another TV show we're pitching. Hey,
call me Netflix season 2. But then Haley does not want to see them.
No.
And she's like, is she really going to bring Jolie here? I'm like, yes, bitch. They just went on vacation together. It's serious.
Like, they literally went to Europe together. It's not like they went to a dinner together. They literally traveled across the country.
I also like that, like, they're super far in age, because, like, Julie's portrayed to be the same age as Kirsten, his other daughter.
Right.
But, like, because we saw his previous girlfriend was, like, 20, that we're like, this is better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's not.
It's, no. Not even close.
It's still weird. And that's what Haley's there to remind us. She's like, this is weird.
100%. Yeah, what could be more fun than Couple Fest? That's hilarious.
But I love that they never bring up, like, you could be a couple with Luke.
Yeah, nobody.
Like, it gets brought up at the end of the episode, but it doesn't get brought up the whole time. And I'm like, the numbers portray that.
Yes. Funny banter between, not really, I don't know if it was fun. I can't figure out if it was funny or not. She goes, clearly I was being sarcastic, so was I. We were never sarcastic before Cohen. Like, what?
It's funny, but then I'm like, only smart people are sarcastic. So are you commenting that Seth made you smarter?
Very much. Laxative in his coffee, dead frog in his underoos, warm water in his hand, and he pees the bed. Like,
how old are you? Like, my God. I'm like, as a fellow short person, the last thing you need to do is act childish, because then you're just put in the corner as the short, funny one. I like that Marissa's like, holy shit, you're fucking crazy.
Gone off the deep end. Like, she's 100% certified okay with it too. You know what I mean? Like, she understands that she has lost her ever-loving mind.
But I just want to say this further proves that Marissa and Summer aren't as best friends as we're led to believe, because Marissa should take one for the team and be like, you know what? Like, let's not do this. Like, this is like, you don't, like, because she's clearly not okay. Like, we're laughing at her, but she's clearly not okay.
No.
Like,
she's lost it over Seth Cohen. I mean, she basically admits that she's madly in love with this guy, but she has to stand by, be a third wheel, and watch the man that she's infatuated with here.
And can Summer not chime in on the whole we hate Oliver thing?
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
She's kind of been like creeped out by him a few times at this point, but like subtly. And I'm like, can you not chime in on the fact that it's fucking weird? Like,
nobody has said anything about Oliver and his tactics other than Ryan. And
that's what I hate, because
Luke
I'm like, you guys,
a little bit later, you know what I mean?
Luke does a lot later, but what bothers me is he only does it to Ryan. And I'm like, you guys need to do something, because we keep forgetting Ryan is still there under like tight circumstances. Exactly. And like, he needs more people in his corner.
Exactly. Sandy's getting Jimmy a job. I
like that Jimmy was like, I can't even get a manager job in this place. Because like, would this restaurant like really care about what Jimmy did?
I mean, he did steal money, and you're a manager at a restaurant, so
yeah, but you're not dealing with the cash drop day to day.
I mean, manager, you possibly could be though.
I don't know. That's what they pay these the minimum wage workers there for. Because like, it's like a casual place. It's not like a back office, like.
Yeah.
It's one of those places you count. It has 250. What's that? That's what the key holder's for.
I like it. All right, so now we transition Oliver. Now that obviously they're back together, so exciting. Ryan and Marissa, they're cute together. Anna and Seth are having a cute moment together. And here comes our good friend Summer to wreak some havoc.
It's really uncomfortable to me, like, and then she knocks over their Jenga, and why are they playing Jenga on a bed?
Yeah,
like, Jenga needs to be played on a flat surface.
Flat surface. Like, you can't play Jenga on a bed. Like, you can't.
It's so weird.
And how it's staying up while they're maneuvering on the bed, I'll never understand.
Very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. But I love that Seth packs a humidifier.
Yes.
One of the best moments of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a serious question about Luke and the alcohol in his truck. It's just chilling. Like, if any cop drove by, they'd be like, that is alcohol.
How did Luke
Cover it up.
How did Luke get it?
Very weird. But then,
she goes, so adorable, you find Seth's weakness is adorable.
It's so funny because it's like throughout the episode, he keeps doing like weird old man things.
Yes.
And it's just funny, like Summer's so smart, she's like planting these seeds.
Yeah.
To Anna. Slowly but surely. It's hilarious.
Who knew Summer was this smart?
Not the writers.
They probably didn't realize at first what they were doing. At the end of the episode, oh my God. What if I say this?
A sociopath.
Exactly. Luke tries to slide into Summer. Yeah, that's a no. She shut his ass down real fast right before the road trip. Oliver has arrived. Natalie broke up with him. Marissa rides with him. Luke and Chino ride together.
Can we talk about that?
Summer takes a shot, takes shotgun from...
Takes a shot.
Takes a shot. She does.
Can we just talk about, like, no. Why does Marissa ride with Oliver? No. And why can't Ryan just go? Ryan could bring a man's perspective to the breakup. I don't know. Like, say that. I don't know. Why would you ride separately from your boyfriend? That makes no sense.
So this is my thing. Obviously, this is a battle throughout the episode. Ryan is giving, and giving. Trying to be
Ryan gives him so much.
Right. It gives them both so much, right?
It's
gives
weird.
A lot of leeway to Oliver, even though he knows in his heart that he is out to get his woman.
For Marissa. And comment. Ryan met Marissa when she had a boyfriend, and they made an emotional connection, and she breaks up with Luke to start dating Ryan. I don't want to talk shit on their relationship, but if you start dating someone while they're dating somebody else and you break them up, it might come around to you. And if I were Ryan, I'd be like, you know what? No, because this is how we met. Absolutely not.
Exactly. But again, as we've seen 1,000 times so far, he gives her the leeway again, right? You know what I mean? He's given her, he could really be a dick. Not necessarily a dick. He could just be a boyfriend. Like, hey, look.
Yeah.
We're taking a
Or just like, hey, you guys can ride together, but like, let me come too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And then we cut to Bonjour, Kiki.
She's
like, here's a cheese wheel.
Here's a cheese wheel. And then Haley goes, Julie, your hair. Julie. And then Julie says, you're here.
It's really funny. It was really funny with the subtitles because it had them placed on top of each other, and it was like the exact same size of a line.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was hilarious. But her hair is red, my God.
Oh, yes. Very much.
I thought my TV, the coloring was messed up. I was like, everything else looks fine. But then Haley said that, and I was like, never mind. But I like that Juju and Kiki bond over Caleb's obsession and excusing of Haley's behavior.
Exactly.
And I just love when they're like just standing there talking to each other, and I'm just like, it's so funny because like they're not that far away from them. Like they're like 3 feet away from her.
They're not. It's not
it's
even
so
that close.
Weird. But then I like that Caleb was like, Kiki, can you make us some lunch? Like, so dismissive.
Exactly.
Like, he's so understanding of Kirsten being an adult that he's just like, goodbye. Like, my favorite daughter's here. it's kind of upsetting because I know in my family I'm my parents' favorite. I'm like, oh my god, is that how my siblings feel?
Probably.
I can say that. They won't listen.
Okay, so then can we talk about so this moment here. Ryan arrives, right?
And Marissa and Oliver are cozy.
My line I have written down here, it says Oliver and Marissa are sitting seductively on the couch together.
Like, because it's one of those modern couches
right.
That's like an S or whatever, and then
yes.
like it's too much.
They're
It's
really
too much.
close to each other.
It's too much.
Way too much.
And to me, Marissa, open your eyes.
Yes.
Let's go. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Because if it were reversed, Marissa would dump Ryan, by the way.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So absolutely not. And then I like how annoying Oliver is. But I do like that Ryan, when him and Luke come in, they're carrying the beer. And he's like, did you bring enough beer? And then when Oliver gets up to show Luke where to put it in the refrigerator, he's like, did you bring enough beer? It's like really funny. Like they said the exact same thing. I'm like, you guys hate each other. Like,
exactly.
Like if you guys didn't have Marissa, maybe they would be friends.
Right? They'd be,
I mean, probably not because Oliver is a demon, but like,
yes.
It's fine. But then I like, who says where are your folks? Is it Seth?
Yeah.
Because who says folks?
Yeah, but I don't know who says folks.
I guess that's part of.
I do want to say real quick, Sandy, 6 calls in 2 hours. That was hilarious. Like,
it's also really funny because I'm like, Palm Springs is further than that.
Yeah.
But I like that Ryan and Luke bring up they tried to follow Oliver, but he was going too fast. Because I'm like, he tried to get away from them, and then he tried to get there early. Yeah,
just so that he can sit there on the couch seductively with his girlfriend while he's not there.
But then Oliver says his parents aren't there because their plane got delayed in Zurich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they were flying from Zurich to Palm Springs. Do you know how small the airport in Palm Springs is? It's small. It's not an airport that has a flight from Zurich coming.
No. So if it would have been delayed, it would have been delayed at some sort of layover. Also, Oliver's a liar. So they're golfing, okay? So I have a question. So he goes, we'll have the threesome of Seth, Summer, and Anna. Like, I figured I'd pair us in threes is what he said, I think. And the threesome of Summer, Seth, and Anna, which is fine. Which the other 3 technically would be Marissa, Oliver, and Ryan. What about fucking Luke?
Why didn't he do 2s?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I guess 2s is kind of counterproductive.
Well, if it's 2s, though, then he can't be with Marissa. It would have to have been just him and Marissa.
And then, wait, wasn't he planning on what's-her-name being there? So, like, before he planned all this?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, obviously, I know that he wasn't planning
but like, we're finding
in the gist of the moment.
Lies. Right. It would have been like, so he said 3s, where the 3s would have been, right? It would have been 3. There would have been 8 people technically there, right? There would have been 8.
He's weird. So, was he would he have split him and Natalie up if she had been there and done 4s?
Probably. Oliver planted the seeds of doubt in Ryan's head. What a dick.
While he's showing everyone their rooms, and then magically forgets the last room left is 2 twin beds for Marissa and Ryan. Get out of here.
Just magically. Why didn't he give that room to Luke and Summer?
Yeah. Does that mean they have 1 bed?
Oh,
they would have switched with them.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because it's not like they're staying. Yeah, they would have been like, hey, guys. Hey, look, you guys got the queen.
Summer would have run in there and been like, Marissa, I'm not sharing a bed with Luke.
Exactly. God. We're finding plot holes all over this episode right now.
But I like that Oliver does this and he corners Ryan alone while Marissa's changing to be like, well, Marissa told me that, like, you have had a hard time. Marissa told me like this. Marissa told me this. Like, shut up, Oliver. You met Marissa in therapy.
And I remember and I heard about you guys' relationship and how, there was another man. Luke. So I'm appreciative of you, letting me. And it's like, bro, back up, man.
Even if I were Ryan, I would have ducked this guy in the face, let me tell you. You thought Luke was punchable. My God.
It's
Luke is at least like dumb. Like,
yes.
Oliver's, like, smart. And he, like, does all the... He, like, you know when people, like, you hear about crimes and people do it, like, in the blind spots of security cameras?
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's doing that. But, like, Marissa is the camera. When she's not around, he's like, hate it. Hate it so much.
So then, of course, Oliver, you know, he's going to go teach his woman right in front of him. Right in front of him. He's trying to, like, cop a feel and show Marissa how to golf.
It's very weird.
And then he goes, and then she hits the ball and he goes, that was a great swing or something from somebody beautiful.
It's an ugly swing for a beautiful girl. I was like, get out of here.
Like, you know, Ryan could hear you, right? Like, you didn't whisper that, man. Like,
that's the point, though, that I wish Luke would have been like, bro, come on. Because, like, I feel like Marissa would believe Luke a little. Like, or, like, give it more credit if, like, Luke, a third party.
It's in her right now, in her head, it's like an idea.
It's just her boyfriend is jealous.
Exactly.
But, like, if it had been an ex-boyfriend, a third party to the situation being like, bro, actually a fourth party. I cracked myself up.
Speaking of which, I just realized she's golfing with her ex-boyfriend, her current boyfriend, and the guy that's trying to break.
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre, especially like considering how much drama there was between Luke and Ryan, and we're kind of like already like past that. It's very weird.
And then on the other golf course, we have the
Seth and Anna in their beautiful outfits.
Yes.
Anna's is like fashionable and like a commitment to like, I'm golfing, I'm gonna wear plaid. But Seth is just dressed like he's 87.
Yes, 100%. He acts like he's 87 this whole entire episode. I love it though.
I'm so jealous.
Hey, and then Summer goes back to being really stupid here. Thanks for carrying my bags, LOL. It's like, what? Like,
it's annoying, but I think
I do love Summer overdoing the friends thing though. It's pretty funny.
It's hilarious. I do think that's like she thinks maybe Seth liked me when I was dumb.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a good one. I like that. And then I love whenever she goes to fetch the ball, whatever she goes. Anna goes and goes. Looks like Summer isn't the only one to lose their balls.
Pretty funny.
It's pretty great. Pretty phenomenal one-liner for sure. Let's see here. And then so you're dropping Oliver, of course, dropping more hints. Luke and Ryan are being like BFFs is like hilarious to me. And then we have the chase scene. Okay. They were like, last one to the thing or whatever has to buy the beers or whatever. First off, we have enough beers.
Question.
We have enough beers.
Also, in addition to like Luke brought enough beer supply for like 7 years. Mm-hmm. Isn't Oliver sober?
Oh yeah. And not just that.
They're underage?
Who? Right. Yeah, that's my next question. Who's buying the beer? Like, how can you buy beer?
Like, I don't know. It's very bizarre. But this scene, I have a lot of questions about it.
Me too.
Like, if I were in this scene, I would get on the golf cart with my boyfriend.
Yes. It should have been Luke and Oliver chasing. Yes. And then so
how does Marissa not feel Oliver's energy?
So not just that. Okay. So they're chasing each other down. They're supposed to meet at basically the clubhouse.
Yes.
Okay? So they're speeding around in circles, whatever. And
how are there not other people complaining about them?
Right.
Also,
somehow they're managed to get
to come
they're going to
play chicken, face,
which doesn't make any sense to me. Does not make any sense to me.
That means Oliver made a conscious decision to turn around. Exactly. And at that point, why wasn't Marissa like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Exactly. And
very weird.
And when Ryan and Luke swerve, right, and they land in the bushes. Okay. First off. Somebody, the security's getting called here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate to break it to everybody here. I've been to a golf course. I've been yelled at for going too fast on the golf course.
Exactly.
Okay?
Do you have times I got yelled at for that? And they were like, you don't even have golf clubs? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here either.
Exactly. So we're at this particular... He goes, oh, man, I was just playing around. And then Marissa's
at first he gets out and he's like, that was so fun. That was so funny. And then when he sees Ryan's mad, he's like, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. And I'm like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
And then I don't understand why Marissa's like, are you okay? And then she just gets back in the original thing with Oliver. And then Luke is like, that guy was not kidding. And I'm like, why didn't you say that in front of Marissa?
In front of everybody.
Like, why did you wait unless Luke is like, he caused all these problems with Ryan, and maybe he's trying to take a step back and like try not to get into fights or something.
Yeah.
Because like I know we always pretend like talk about Ryan as the fighter or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe Luke is understanding like I also get heated and see red and punch right away.
Yes.
Maybe he's trying to take a step back.
Yeah, it's growth.
I don't appreciate it in this instance.
in this scene, or this entire episode. But we understand. So Caleb. I love the scene because Caleb goes, I love both my daughters equally. And then Kirsten goes, we both know that's not true.
It's so funny because like we skipped over it, but Julie and Kirsten were like watching them talk. Like it was like they were ESPN narrating it.
Yeah.
Like
so
she's doing this, he's doing this, she's doing this.
Yeah.
But then now Caleb is talking to Kirsten because they're all supposed to go to dinner. And Kirsten's not dressed because she's not going.
Kiki's not dressed.
Kiki's not dressed. Kiki's a no-go.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't have favorites. I'm like, yes, you do. And Kirsten's like, yes, you do.
You literally walked in the door, ignored everybody in your entire family, including your
just to say hi to her.
Just to sit down with somebody that you haven't seen in a couple years.
And then, like, I like that Kirsten's just straight to the point. She's like, you need to cut her off. Like, I don't know if this time she'll come back. If she does come back, she's not going to be okay. You need to cut her off. This is the time to do it.
Yep.
And I love that in the midst of all of this, Sandy is going to dinner to tell Jimmy at their favorite restaurant that's closing that you have to move. No one will ever hire you again. Because to me, hear me out, I don't know why Sandy is not campaigning, hey, him and Haley do belong together. Like, I know it's weird, but like that would get a lot of issues out of the way for Sandy. 100%. He doesn't want Haley living there. Jimmy's moving to Phoenix away from his wife. You know what? Take Haley with you while you go.
So funny.
But the dynamic of Kirsten and Caleb is a little different than it has been in the past.
I agree.
Because Julie said to her earlier, she was like, you're the only person that he'll listen to.
Exactly.
But it doesn't really seem like he's listening to her. Like he's like, you're kind of wrong. Like, no.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that he goes to dinner without her. It doesn't seem to me like a thing he would actually do. It seems to me like he would be like, no, I'm not leaving. Like, go get dressed.
I think that's the thing too. Cause like, he's very assertive. He things his way. He wants to go to dinner with his girls.
Yeah.
Not one of his
Not
girls.
one of them. I mean, maybe he does because Haley is the favorite, but it's just like weird. That's not a way to prove that she's not your favorite by like not taking your other. Yeah. Like it's weird. But then we cut to another old person, Seth.
Setting up his
humidifier.
Yes.
It's hilarious. I like that she's like, no, like it already feels disgusting in here.
Yeah.
And then
he's like
no, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And then they're chilling in the bed. They're being cute. And then Summer.
Hello.
Just like the beginning of the episode.
Smack dab, right? And then not only that, she lays in
between them.
In between them in the bed.
It's a bit much.
Yes. And then the Enrique Iglesias videos playing for Hero. Can you imagine being with a guy like that with abs and then touches Seth and apparently not?
It's a pretty good burn. I won't lie. Because that came fantastic. To her fast.
It was so good. And then we transition to Ryan and Oliver.
In the kitchen, Ryan's doing the dishes. So I have a serious thing to point out here. I'm pretty sure that Ryan is doing the dishes and putting them in the dishwasher. And I want to say that is the right move. Because that's what I do. I clean my dishes and then I put them in the dishwasher.
Yeah, you got to rinse them off before you put them in, right?
But I clean them.
Oh.
My husband does not do this. So if you are a pro wash your dishes, then put them in the dishwasher person, you are the correct person in whatever relationship, friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you're in. If you are the person that does this, you are the right person. Therefore, that's how you know Ryan is in the right in everything he does. Because he's cleaning the dishes before he puts them in the dishwasher. But I like that Oliver's like, no, we have someone that'll do that. And I'm like, who? I haven't seen one other person at this stupid house.
Nobody welcomed them or anything. Like,
yeah, like if you have help, they would have taken their luggage and like shown them to their room, not have Oliver do it.
Exactly.
So that was like a weird, like, I think that's a big indicator of he's not as rich as he says he is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know he's staying in a penthouse at the Four Seasons, but like, I think that's showing that it's not true. But also, I would have loved to see their group dinner.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like, Oliver just, like, attacked Luke and Ryan with a golf cart. Like, I would have seen them at dinner.
Right. So
is that a deleted scene?
Because, like, we just dropped that scene like it never happened. Like,
yeah.
Like, nothing ever happened. And now we're in the kitchen and Oliver's just talking to him like they're best friends. You know what I mean? And then
I like that Ryan isn't giving him the time of day. And then Ryan just puts the dishes down and he's like, next time you want to be alone with my girlfriend, don't invite me. And then
boom.
Oliver freaks the fuck out.
Like a 2-year-old.
And he starts like hitting his face. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, what is going on? I got worried he like cut himself because he like broke a dish.
Yeah.
I really wish he had, because it would have been like you know, like Fatal Attraction level.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what he watched to get into the moment, because like Glenn Close breaks some dishes.
I do agree. We could have had a little bit more dramatic scene behind it, because all you hear.
It just felt a little like I don't know. Yeah, it felt like they cut some things to make it for TV or something. I don't know. But then I love that he does this, and he probably broke the dish on fucking purpose,
100%,
so that Marissa would hear and come in. And then when Marissa comes in, he's not freaking out anymore. He's just like crying, cool, being like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Like, shut up, you little bitch.
And then Marissa lays into Ryan.
I literally wrote down, now Marissa is mad, ... At Ryan? Like, come on. I understand what she's saying, though, that, like, Oliver's fragile. Oliver's had a substance abuse problem. Oliver has depression. But, like, look at the situation. Like, come on. And, like, you're dating Ryan. You're not there for Oliver. Like, he's your friend. But you always are, like, going to take the side of your partner unless you physically see it.
Preach.
But if you're not in the room and your partner is being like, listen, like.
If you want to have a conversation about it, you have it in the other room afterwards.
Yeah, and I think, like, Ryan would have been like, listen, if he does have these problems, like, I'm really worried for him. Because I do think that's where Ryan's coming from, that, like, I've seen it. He's crazy. But also, like, he is trying to make moves on you, you dumb bitch. Like,
can we just talk about, like, literally 3 days ago, he was trying to buy coke off of a cop, and Ryan's the one that saved his ass?
Yeah, like, should he be alone right now? No, like, someone should go after him. But, like, it doesn't have to be Marissa. And, like, Ryan keeps bringing things up, being like, you know what? Like, he needs help. Let's take him to get help. Like, enough is enough. It's too much for you, who, by the way, Marissa is also dealing with problems. She's dealing with some substance abuse problems herself. Yeah. She's dealing with some depression. She did try to kill herself, whether or not she thinks that or not. She doesn't need to be around and taking care of someone else going through these things.
No.
And Ryan is trying to be there for her and protect her. And she's like, well, you're being mean to Oliver. I'm like, who the fuck cares about Oliver?
Exactly. What does Oliver have to do with our relationship at this point?
You know what, though? Moment? I will just say I'm taking a lot of aggression out on Oliver, and I think a lot of it is Marissa.
Right? Yeah. But she wouldn't be acting this way if it wasn't
for Oliver.
Oliver, right.
Because they were kind of getting along, and then Oliver showed up.
Yes. So reel him back in a little bit. You can be mad at him. Sandy Jimmy.
On their little date at the White House.
So cute. The restaurant's closing forever. They're upset. They're angry. They're drinking.
But, okay, the whole time they're like, it just needs a little updating. I'm like, it looks pretty cool to me. The red leather seat, like, booths, like, those are, like, iconic. Like, that's like I'm in a cool restaurant, like from the 50s. Like, sure, I take the menu, bring back happy hour, like they say.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think it needs remodeled. I like the exposed brick with the red leather booths.
I thought it looked really good myself.
I was like, I don't eat meat, but this meatloaf sounds great. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm in.
But so they're kind of like talking about like their dreams and what they had in mind for themselves. And now that Jimmy has to move to like Phoenix. And then they start talking about all the changes they would make to keep the lighthouse in business.
Yeah.
And then Sandy gets this look on his face and he's like, 2 more martinis.
And he goes from getting ready to kick Jimmy out of town to
let's save the lighthouse.
Let's go into business together. And then we transition to the threesome in the bed.
Talking about Egg McMuffins.
And it's funny.
They are served all day now.
And he's like, and I wrote down, if you only knew, Seth.
I heard that they're going to have to get rid of all day breakfast because of like some health issues. And like, they can't have because of COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you breaking news on the OC podcast?
I am.
About breakfast?
About McDonald's. All day breakfast, no more. I heard just certain locations, they can't do it anymore.
This is depressing.
But also, I didn't know that all day breakfast wasn't at every single location.
I did know that.
I didn't know that because like a couple days ago at work, we were like, you know what sounds good right now? Some hash browns. And somebody went to go get them. They were like, bad news, guys. They don't serve them all day.
That's stupid.
But only if Anna and Seth had lived this long to know.
To understand.
They could have an Egg McMuffin at 10 p.m. in bed.
So every time Summer turns the channel,
they start saying something cute.
About the thing.
And then they're like, we should have a station that is just us talking about what's on the TV.
It's so good. But Summer drops the bombshell.
It's so good.
The biggest bombshell. Well, she goes, you guys' witty banter is so cute. You could be brother and sister.
And then she turns the TV off. She's like, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Drops the bomb and then leaves.
So they're alone with their thoughts. And immediately Anna goes, I'm going to bed. And turns away from Seth.
So good. You drop the bomb like that and just roll. It was fantastic. I loved every second of it. Let's see here. We go. Oh my God, we're back.
Marissa waiting alone for Oliver. And then Ryan comes to comfort her and she keeps calling, trying to get a hold of him. And then all of a sudden, Oliver calls Marissa and he says that he has taken a bunch of pills and he's back in Newport. And that,
so how did he get back there so fast?
Crazy. Doesn't make any sense. And did nobody think to chase him after he just left? Like, why did Marissa just sit there? Like, I'm sure Ryan would have driven her around looking for him. He just left. Like, it's not like they wouldn't have been able to see him in a residential area.
I don't understand. For me, the biggest thing is I don't understand how fast, how he got there so fast. And then he only wants Marissa to come back to Newport. Again,
he's crying and hitting himself and to me, call hotel security.
Right, exactly. Oh,
it's not like he's at a house. He's at a hotel.
Yes.
They'll send security up.
Yes, 100%. Again, no warning signs are in Marissa's head right now. Nothing.
I'm I get it. He's underage. He doesn't want in trouble with his parents, but enough. Too much. But then, obviously, Marissa and Ryan leave to go to Newport. And then they cut back to show you Oliver drinking,
partying,
dancing, having fun, undoing pills and putting them away, and then throwing the bottles so it looks like chaos.
Yeah.
But hiding pills, not taking anything.
Just hiding.
And he claims he already did it.
Yes.
But then we transition to Haley, who is very mad.
Very angry.
Very mad at Kirsten.
Very upset.
Because she is cut off. And she's being so mean to Kirsten. Because Kirsten's you telling her you need your own life, you need to make decisions. And Haley's like you, like with your job that dad got for you and your house that dad built for you, which she keeps saying every single episode. And I'm like, then don't stay here.
Exactly. Like, you're staying in this house. Like,
but then she storms out and she's done.
Done.
Sandy
tries to sneak into the house, which is the funniest thing ever.
He is drunk.
He runs into the dresser.
I love the whole, like, how long it takes him to close the door, because I do know that feeling of, like, if I close the door, like, really abruptly, it's going to be, like, really loud.
Yeah. And it's going to
But how did he not notice all the lights are on?
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
And then I love that he's laying there next to her, and he's just like, he's trying to sneak in or whatever. And then he kind of tells her, like, yeah, we're going into business. He's like, it's been a long time since I've had a friend. I don't want to find a new friend.
So cute. It's so pure.
I love it. It's so just...
And I like that after all this, his friend is Jimmy.
I know, exactly. Like the guy that's literally like was in love or is, I don't even know anymore. And then like she starts talking to him and then he's just like passed out cold.
It's hilarious.
Anna and Seth passed out cold in the back seat. Summer
rudely awakens them.
Lays on the horn. Moment between Luke and Summer's funny, right?
Well, it's funny because he's like, oh, you're into Cohen. And she's like, well, and then he's like, you're looking hot. And then she's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, oh my God, she just told you that she's into someone else that you picked up on. And your initial reaction is to be like, you're hot. Mm-hmm. It's very weird.
Very, 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 very strange. Like I don't even know. Marissa says she's going to stay with Oliver.
I like that Oliver won't open the door until he thinks Ryan is leaving. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan hasn't actually left yet. And then he opens the door and he's like totally fine in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go to the ER because he doesn't want the police to find out, doesn't want his parents to find out. Mm-hmm. And when he goes back into the bedroom, then Marissa's like, I'm going to stay. And Ryan's like, why? You don't need to.
He's gonna can't be by himself.
And then he's like, that's why he needs to go to the emergency room. Like, he took all these pills. You don't know. Because he was like, how many did you take? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, if you were just throwing up pure pills like that, like you took them and immediately threw them up, you'd probably fucking be like, how many did I take?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
100%.
weird.
Marissa Snap says, I'll call you tomorrow.
So aggressively telling Ryan to leave. So awkward.
Yeah.
Fuck Oliver is the moral of the story. There's no MVP of this episode. It's just who is the worst. WVP?
I couldn't figure out. I couldn't find really an MVP myself either. The only one that I kind of leaned on was potentially Summer, just because she was
Oh my God,
funny.
That's so funny. I did Luke.
Oh.
Because I was like, he didn't do anything bad. Exactly. He had some good character moments.
Exactly. Fun fact of the week.
The Enrique Iglesias video that they were watching,
Misha
Barton, who plays Marissa, is the star of the video.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Interesting.
I like that a lot. So thanks for listening to the episode. And continue supporting the podcast. Each and every week. Make sure to follow Kenzie on Twitter at Kenz Vanunu. Give myself a follow at Ricky Valera _ subscribe to the show on YouTube. I had to move the show over on YouTube, just to let everybody know, to my channel instead of our own personal channel. It just was not working out that way. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.